So welcome to the UK News Today. Today we have news that transplant saved my life. Then I had to watch sister die as she waited for donor who never came. A 6-year-old Nicki Williams, 29, had Marshall's hand as she took her last breath, 10 months after joining the transplant list. A cystic fibrosis patient who received a life-saving lung transplant has told of the agony of watching her sister die for the same condition because a donor could not be found. Nicki Williams, 29, held Mitchell's hand as she took her last breath, 10 months after joining the transplant list. She died from the genetic condition age 30, just months before her planned wedding. Nicki, who back our Change the Law of Life champion for an opt-out system to organ donation, said, "I feel so much guilt that Michelle is not here, and I am. Getting a transplant changed my life. I just always assumed that Michelle would get her chance too. If there were more organs, maybe they could have found a donor in time." Michelle was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at 3 weeks old. It causes breath and digestive difficulties, mostly affect the lungs. Average life expectancy can be as low as 37. When Nicki was born 3 years later, she had 50% chance of having it. Parents Hazel and Joyce were devastated when the doctors confirmed their worst fears. Aged 6 and 9, the girls had to stay in hospital for 2 weeks every 3 months to undergo intravenous antibiotic treatment to fight infections. Nick of Kettering noticed that we were in and out of hospital through our childhood, so we did miss school. But when we were in, and we do as much as we could with our friends. The hell of the sister who were raised by their dad after their mom died deteriorated repeatedly when they hit their 26 millisecond beauty therapist Nicki and Michelle, nursery nurse, became too ill to work. They said, "We spent most of our time together after that as we were both poorly and couldn't do much. It was hard and we hate each other." In 2012, a 23 Nick lung collapsed for the first time and the doctor started to discuss a transplant. She was placed on the waiting list in May 2013, but had to wait more than 18 months for the donor. Nicki got a call from the transplant team in June 2015 while driving to her sister's house. She said, "I had no real quality of life by that point. I was struggling for every breath and start at just surviving. I had been waiting so long. I did not think I could possibly be my transplant call. I was told they had some lungs they thought it would viable, so I turned around and went to get my dad. I always kept my bag in the car in case that call came. He drove me to the Royal Parrot Hospital in Cambridge the night she underwent 8 for operation. Michelle, fighting a flu in another hospital, texted, "I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to see you." Transplant allowed Nick to breathe properly for the first time in years. Her breath improved immediately, allowing her to work part-time. But Michelle's condition worsened, and the following May, her name was added to the transplant list. Nick said, "She told me she was really frightened, but she saw the difference it made to me, and I think that helped her." Michelle and partner Neil Gomez booked their wedding day for August 2017, with Nick as maid of the honor. Nicki said she did not want to go down a rise in the wheelchair, but we thought she'd get a transplant by then. She booked the venue and picked the bridge match, but that was as far as she got from Kimberly Puri. She knew she would not have long without transplant, but never wanted to bring the wedding forward as she wanted to be well on her big day. But her lung function deteriorated further. On March 5, 2017, Michelle was called to the pivot after a pair of lungs became viable, but they were not viable. Nicki added they aren't able to tell us why, but something went wrong. That was where she really started to decline. That disappointing took all the energy she had left. Tragically, she died 11 days after the pivot called naked, and her dad, and now 41, had sat by Michelle's bed and told her it was okay to let go. They had her hand as her lungs finally gave up, said, "I'm forever grateful for my transplant, but I have so much guilt that it was me and not Michelle too. I've struggled a lot with that. Now I'm speaking out to encourage people to talk about organ donation. If her story makes just a few people sign up to donor register, could mean a few people will be saved. After our system would make so many more organs available and help people before time runs out." If in February, MP voted in favor of such system, and we will consider donor unless they out. It will refer as Max Law after mirror boy Max Jackson 10, who was saved by a heart transplant. There are 6,500 patients waiting for transplants. I hope you really enjoyed this. Please subscribe my channel to get more news. Thank you.